Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is meant to be a recreation of one of the characters from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode Hush, called The Gentleman. Aside from the vampires from that series, I think the Gentlemen are probably the most famous villains from that series because that episode was just iconic. It was such a creepy episode where these demons take sound so no one can speak, and they go into their rooms at night and cut out their hearts and they can't scream to alert people because they have no voice. And absolutely creepy characters, and they don't say a word, they just grin. It's awesome. And as this is a request, as usual, I'll flash on the screen now the first few people that requested this look, because I can't shout out everyone's name unfortunately because this video would go on forever. But the very first person that requested it was Dance36912. Yeah, I'll pop your name there, so thank you so much. Thank you everyone that requested this look, but you were the first person. So yeah, if you'd like to learn how to recreate this look, stay tuned. For this tutorial I need to get rid of my eyebrows and get rid of my hair, so aside from shaving everything off, I'm going to block my eyebrows out and apply a bald cap. So I'll pop a link here and here to tutorials I've done in the past to teach you guys how to do both those things, just to make this video that much shorter. So I'm going to do that and get back to you. So there we go. So after I applied my bald cap and blocked out my brows, I went over the edge of my bald cap and around my ears with about 4 layers of liquid latex just to get rid of the seam completely. So yeah, now I've done that, I'm going to take some liquid latex and a sponge and just go over my forehead and my eyebrows, because I intend to build them up to, yes, a very angry brow, but I'm going to make them very triangular because the Gentlemen have a very unique expression, don't they? So yeah, so I'm going to do 4 layers of liquid latex, let that dry, and then I can go in with some tissue afterwards. So then, when I built up enough layers, I can take some regular tissue paper that I've torn into so I've got the thinner halves, and the idea is that I can rip them into little strips, like that, and I'm going to apply it in an upside down V shape. So I'm going to go across here and then down here. So I'm going to do that for around 7 coats, making sure the edges are extra thin, maybe 2 layers around the edge instead of 7, just to really blend it off. And the idea is to apply latex in the area that you want, and push the tissue downwards and pull off the excess. Then you can just saturate that tissue with more latex. So 6 to 7 more to go, and I should have a nice angry looking brow. So there we are, so nice angry furrowed brow. So then I'm going to work on the foundation. So it's a relatively complicated colour, it's not quite white but it's insanely pale, and there is hints of skin tone in there, but they're more grey than anything. So to get that, I've mixed a Snazaroo Clown White, about 3 parts of that to 2 parts Snazaroo Peach watercolour, and I've added not even 1 part, a tiny little drop of black watercolour by Snazaroo. And by mixing all that together, and because this Clown White is a cream, I've got this really nice creamy gross looking dead skin colour that's really pale. So I'm going to apply that all over my face, neck and ears and blend it out. Then I can just powder all that so it's not as shiny and it doesn't transfer then, with some Ben Nye setting powder in Super White. So then for the eyes, I'm going to take a Grimas Black Cream, this is their 101, and without blending it to start off with, I'm just going to draw an initial shape, which is going to be slightly underneath the eyes but all the way on top of the eyelids and all the way up to your brow bone, but I'm going to do it in like a triangular shape. So yeah, really triangular. So then I'm going to take a new clean brush and I'm going to start blending that colour outward. Not completely all the way, I mean, we need it to be so there's no harsh line, but not more than a centimetre below it. So still keeping that triangular shape on top, but neatly blended outwards. Then I'm going to take a Brick Red eyeshadow by M.A.C, and I'm going to use that really loosely just to go underneath the eye slightly and bring it out here really lightly, not heavily at all. You just want to see a hint of pinky reddy brown just around this area here. So then I can take the black cream again and I'm going to start working on the contouring. So these guys have got a lot of contouring, a lot of contouring. Use a cream rather than a powder because when I blend it out it's going to grey up the area, and that's really what I want to go for. So I'm going to lightly trace on the shape that I want, which is very skull-like. I mean, that's obviously what contouring is, but these guys have 0 fat. They're just mainly flesh on, like, hanging onto bone. So I'm going to really heavily shade the temples, really heavily do the cheekbones without it looking too drag, because I'm going to pull it downwards as well to make it look more masculine. I think Johnny Depp. But yeah, so I'm going to draw it on and then show you where I've gone so I can blend it afterwards. Okay, so that's the rough shape that I've gone for. So just have really sketchily, because this stuff I can manipulate all over the face. So I've got the strong cheekbones and I've got it going around really closely to the brow bone, and then I'll trail it off. So the idea is to blend all of this colour completely outwards, so there's very little blending on the insides, because it makes this area without the blending be more prominent. And it does help to blend, when you're blending on top cream, it does help to get a new brush without any colour, and to make it ever so slightly damp, not wet so it's dripping. Spray it once with some water and then you can use it from there, and it does help to manipulate the colour a lot easier. So super harsh blending. It does help, I should have pointed this out, sorry. After you've blended it out, it does help to take the cream and just do one line going along the edge of the deepest points of where the hollows are, just without blending them, just so you know exactly where the deepest points should be, and then the rest of this is just shadow outwards, so your deepest points are here and your deepest points would be up here. So then again, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to start drawing on the wrinkles, because these guys are insanely wrinkly, especially with their expression lines. Like, they've got incredibly deep nasolabial folds. Now, I was going to draw the mouth on, but then I thought it would look too cartoony, so I want to be actually grinning myself. So I'm not going to fake the nasolabial folds, I'm going to draw my own ones on. So I'm going to draw the lines here, and I'm also going to be drawing the angle lines going quite far up the forehead, some wrinkles, and yes, I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to draw them on, show you where I've gone, and then show you where I'm going to blend them. So there we go, and so I've gone around my chin to make my chin look a bit more prominent, the nasolabial folds, some head wrinkles, and around the eyes here, down the sides of the nose, and I've also coloured my nostrils in to make them look a little bit more sinister. They tend to be pointier, nostrils tend to be a bit evil looking. Don't know why, it just makes the nose turn up a little bit. So then I'm going to take exactly the same again, a really stiff, slightly fluffy, damp brush, and I can start blending all this colour outwards. So the finer details, like here, I'm not so much going to blend them. It's more like the edges of each wrinkle that I'm going to blend. And obviously these shaded here, I'm going to be blending outwards. These are going to be blended outwards, and outwards. After I've blended all that and there's no real harsh lines, I can then go in, as I have the wrinkles, and draw a few more fine details on that don't need to be blended. The lips are going to be quite big as well, so I'm going to use that black cream again, but very loosely. I'm just going to blend it around, so it's quite a big bottom lip, because when they're smiling, your lip recedes inwards, and theirs don't seem to, so it makes the teeth show a lot more, I suppose. So I'm going to paint my bottom lip a little bit lower than it actually should be, but keeping it to a fairly natural shape. We don't want it to look like lipstick. Then I can work on the veins that they have going back from the back of the head, and they taper off towards the front and don't seem to go beyond the forehead. So I'm just taking a blue Kohl Barry M eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to taper it off in random squiggles. Some of them are going to root off each other like tree roots, so one will turn into two or three, just going randomly across the head. Almost forgot, I'm just going to take a little bit of that black cream and just blend slightly down the middle of my chin, then outwards, just to give it a little bit more of a bum chin that they seem to have. Then I'm just going to line the waterline of both my eyes with a black eyeliner gel. This one's Maybelline Eyestudio Lasting Drama. They're number 1, they're black, just to make the eyes look a little bit extra dark. Now for the teeth. So the gentlemen have these iconic silver teeth, don't they? So I'm going to be using some Grimas tooth enamel in their silver colour. So I'm not going to show you me applying this on camera, because as you guys know, I don't like my teeth very much, so yeah. So I'm going to apply this. The way you do it is you block your teeth dry, your clean teeth dry, apply a layer of this onto your teeth directly, let it dry for about 30 seconds, keeping your mouth open. As it dries, do a second coat, leave it for another 30 seconds, and then you're fine. So there we go. Fairly subtle, but I don't know, I think it looks interesting. Then I'm just going to take one of the last steps. I'm just going to take a 103 eyeshadow by, I've never used it all now, by Grimas, their black eyeshadow. And I'm just going to use that on my jawline so slightly, just to bone it up a little bit. So then it's a case of popping on my contacts and my costume, and I'm done. And there we go. So, as I said, finished the look off by popping my costume, which is just a regular black suit with a little mini handkerchief sticking out the pocket, which, because they're gentlemen after all, black tie, white shirt, and contact lenses. And these contact lenses are called Demon Eyes, or White Demons, sorry. They're by camoeyes.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below. They're just regular white out eyes, but have got like a bloodshot red ring around the outside. I just thought that'd add to a nice little creepy touch. Obviously, if you're wearing this look out, you might have to paint your hands because their hands are very skeletal, haven't they? They've got the black outlines shaded in. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to paint my hands because it will make it a mess for me. And yeah, so I hope that's okay. So yeah, that's my look complete. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful to some of you out there. If you like it, please make sure you know the usual. Rate, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye.